Okay, cool. We're recording. So let me turn my
Right.
video on. We're good. Yeah, sometimes it's funny
Well,
how that happens with the Zoom. Like sometimes I have to like reset cookies or something to get it to work to when I'm doing like interviews with Zoom and things like that. But yeah, so anyway, I know since the last time that all of us talked, I think was Thursday, for you, Donna, I think was the last time we touched base, I think, um, in the call, on the call. Um, a lot's changed. So it's definitely, we just want to acknowledge that, right? Obviously, the stock market, there's been some volatility with stocks and people are cooped up in their homes and there's just a lot going on. And I know everyone in this room hasn't experienced anything like this before. I think we can all agree with that, right, Chance?
I was in a
Yeah.
Bible study meeting last night, and there's a few elderly ladies in there.
Uh-huh.
Elderly is not fair. They're probably in their 60s, but they've never been through anything like this either. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of bizarre, but it's no sense in heading out to Costco at 8 o'clock so you can get in line because they don't open till 10.
Uh-huh.
This makes no sense to me, but
Right.
people are weird.
I I
And I
don't think.
apologize if anybody on this call is one of those people.
Yeah. I don't think we understand the gravity of this, and I don't think we will for another 3 months. I think I don't. I mean, this is unprecedented. It's just unique market conditions leading up to this. Like if it were just the coronavirus 4 years ago, would have been a different story.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the coronavirus after a 10-year bull run. That's a recipe for disaster, right? Markets were already struggling. Oil and gas prices were already struggling. I mean, there's been chatter for over a year. Over a year talking about, hey, it's coming, and then a catastrophe like this strikes. It's like it'd be like thinking you might get laid off at your job, right? And then you getting laid off, and then your kid comes down with like some illness that can't be cured. I mean, it's like the perfect storm. It's
Yeah.
gonna be interesting, but it's what do we do at this moment? It is what it is. How do we overcome the fear and the emotional responses and grow our business? That's what
Mhm.
we're all trying to do.
And I think if there's like a silver lining here, I think um it's not like there was a bubble necessarily in the market or anything like that, right? That took the market down substantially or anything like that, or that's hurting. This could just be, and we're not sure yet, but right, this could be a timing thing or a temporary thing,
True.
and it's just getting through this period. And I don't even want to say getting through it because the good news is that this is opening up a lot of opportunities for accountants, and we're going to talk about that tonight.
Oh,
So,
good.
Yeah,
so
but
much. This is the time. My plan is to 3x my business in the next year because of this thing.
Well, share the wealth and tell us how you're doing that.
so I guess I'll go ahead and share the screen and I just jotted down some notes real quick. About just lessons learned that I did some studying, some research over the past week, talked to my mentors, read some books, watched videos, listened to other people, and I just jotted down some notes here that I think is going to be relevant to everybody. So, um, the first one I put down is that now is the time to expand and not contract. Um, and I just put marketing in parentheses, but I don't think that I wouldn't just say that's marketing. I just think that's as a business owner, just to expand.
That's the mentality.
Right. That's a mindset. Right. So, um, getting into the opportunities right now. I mean, there are, how many business owners are at home right now just scrolling on Facebook or scrolling on social media?
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's a lot of opportunity here for eyes on our stuff, and we have to be willing to expand and put our stuff out there and help people. Like, this is a time to serve people and help people. So, William, I'm gonna mute you. I think I hear an echo there.
Did you happen to see the video I did yesterday?
I didn't know. No.
So I was kind of thinking along the lines of what you're saying, and so I put out a live video that kind of discussed, you know, what you can do to minimize your expenses and kind of make your money go a little bit further. But I also kind of put in there, you know, this is why, you know, our parents told us years ago to, you know, learn how to live off of one income and not be, you know, not saving for tomorrow, so to speak. At the end of it, I mentioned, you know, if you guys have anything that you have a question about or you're concerned about with your business, give me a call. You know, I'm willing to do like 15, 20 minute, you know, conversation, you know, no charge. I'm here to help, you know, let me know. You have to listen to all 11 minutes of it before they find that out, but I didn't do that on purpose. It just kind of happened that way.
Yeah. And that actually started doing that. Like when I have a guest on, this is getting into marketing stuff, but when I have like a guest on on an interview or something, I'll actually drop the call to action at the front and in the middle and in the end.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
So I'll say, you know, by the way, Brian, like I did an interview Monday. I was like, by the way, Brian's got this awesome Facebook group you guys should check out. It's called Finance Mastermind, and that was his call to action that he wanted. But I dropped it in the front, in the middle, and in the end. And if you can find a way to do that, but that's great. And I think you could do that as a written post too, if you want to do that. And now's a good time to just genuinely bring people together, help people. And I think that what you're doing is fine.
Cool. I think, Charlie, one of the things I'm working through right now is, so my perception on kind of what's going on is that business owners, the average person that is a business owner, that is a potential client for us, is they're in crisis mode about their family and their house. They're not in crisis mode about their business yet. So the reason that I say that is, one of my mentors, his name's the Cash Flow Doctor. He's an enrolled agent out of California. This guy, anytime you post anything, gets 40, 50, 60 likes, 20, 30 comments, right? He's just a really charismatic guy. He just lived 3 months in Bali with his son, like just a cool guy, right? So he and I were going to do a group live together on Sunday night and to like talk about this, like have a conversation and do it live. And we ended up couldn't figure out how to do it together. But the point is, so we both posted almost an identical Facebook post saying, hey, I'm going to go live at 9 Central about this. On my page, I got about 20% of the engagement I usually get. On his page, he got about 15 to 20%. And it was like, and it said business owners, let's talk about how to protect. I said, how to protect your ass, .. s. How to protect your ass, .. s. Through the coronavirus, right? There was limited response because we were talking about it after. I don't think business owners are ready yet. But and I think that's perfect because that gives us time to prepare. So one of the things I wanted to ask you about tonight, Charlie, was your thoughts on like a hand raiser geared towards like the coronavirus, since it's the big topic right now. Like, do you think that's a good idea to say like, who needs, you know, like, I don't know, like do you think that's a good idea? One, to have a coronavirus based hand raiser, and two, what does that look like?
Yeah, that's a great question.
I just found that on Google about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, I thought about that. And I think that all of us in here are coming from a place of wanting to help people genuinely, and that we genuinely care.
Yeah.
And I think doing a hand raiser is going to allow us to do that. So I would recommend doing a tasteful hand raiser on that. And yeah, you can use coronavirus in there. You could use recession proofing, you know.
True.
So, but you could, you know, I'm trying to think of what would make sense for a hand raiser.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about. Like, that's what I kind of wanted
like
to.
You said you wanted an example. So And what's the service that we're talking? Are we talking about like? Are we just talking about?
Yeah, let's just say like we get like, so for me, I'm trying to think of a hand raiser around the coronavirus, so I can have basically take them through my sales process for a tax plan.
Yeah.
Because my thought on a tax plan right now is that, so I'm actually going to shift my focus to amending past returns, I think, because I'm basically going to say, hey, you don't have enough cash to keep your family safe. What if there's $5,000 that the IRS has been keeping from you for the last 3 years? Because you can go amend returns and all that. Something like that. I don't know how to do that though.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I would. This is a good question. So I would think about maybe having a list of like these are 5 things that you can do. 5 things to help your business through this coronavirus. And like one of those 5 things would be the tax planning.
Cool. That's good, dude.
Yeah. Because if you don't want to talk about like that's super tax planning is definitely not on anybody's mind right now. Right?
Yeah. No, God, no.
So I wouldn't put that in the post. I would talk about like, I would have 4 or 5 different things. Like,
that's good.
Yeah. And maybe that's letting them know about funding, which we'll talk about, right? Or, you could let them know about some changes and things, but
cool.
I would keep it high level on the post.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe the hand raisers, like, business owner, who needs my top 5 tips on how to survive the coronavirus or how to recession, like, think
something along those lines. Yeah. I don't know if I would use survive. Like it's a really fine line between like fear tactics and like but I will say this, guys, like the messaging of like people wanting to like grow and scale their business is gonna kind of go away for a little bit, because
no one can think about that yet, because
right.
you're thinking about you're thinking about how do I make it through the next 60 days, and then I can think about that. It's too early for that, for sure.
And I've put that down here. Prospects' mindsets are now, they're going to move from a place of aspiration and dreams and wants to a place of preservation.
Defense.
And
all about defense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good thought.
Yeah. So we want to use our messaging accordingly. Like when we talk about the sales call and the sales process, we talk about what are your pain points, what are your desires and dreams. Like, so we'll talk about those dreams and desires like a little bit, but I would spend more time on like what is not having whatever this costing you, right? What are those costs and consequences?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. But I don't think it's in bad taste to have a post where you're offering training where you're genuinely helping people. No.
Mm-hmm.
You're fine.
Cool.
Does anybody have any questions around that?
Well, so I'm starting to do a probably needs to be pushed back, I guess. We're doing a webinar on how to grow your business, which is supposed to start on Saturday.
Okay. What are you covering on the webinar?
Well, it's kind of like just a summary of a course that we're going to put out.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And so it basically talks about, the 4 ways that you can grow your business. So your front end marketing, your back end marketing. There's a section that talks about like your pricing and making sure that, all of that is, your pricing is correct. Just a lot of detail on the various ways that you can use each of those methods.
Hey, Donna, I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you haven't built the course out, right?
Yeah, it's done.
Oh, it's done. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So if you've got a course done, that's perfect. If anyone's listening to this either on the recorded session or now, Well, something you can also try is pre-selling a course. So that's what I'm in the process of doing right now. You know, there's pros and cons to both ways, right? But just an idea, because Donna, how much work is building a course?
Well, you know, so I've been doing it with Andrea.
Oh, cool. Y'all partnered on it.
Yeah. We spent, I'd say, a good 10 hours just putting together the summary piece.
Just the what do they call it in college? The thesis or
like an intro
yeah.
to cover. And I'm wondering if I should have, you know, if we should have even done that. Maybe we just, you know, did what you said and get some. We were thinking that we could use it as a way to get in front of people. You know, if they went to the mini one, that then they would come to the 5-week deal.
Right. Right. Yeah. And you know, there's so many, you know, there's a million ways to skin a cat. And so if y'all have already got that done, I do think that's a critical part of like basically finding the content you think would be good and then testing it out there and seeing if you know, how much attention you can get with it. One of the mentors, I was at a training one time and the trainer was like, hey, if you ever need to make money, and you're like in a pinch, you need to make money like that day, right? Or that week. Set up now this is like old school, like non-virtual, but like his theory was you set up an event, you're a guest, like be a guest speaker for he was like a fitness health guy. So he went and spoke at a hospital event about weight loss. And he gave this 90-minute like lecture basically on like how to, you know, some critical things to do and all this stuff. He gave so much value. And then he said, hey, if this has been helpful, at the back of the room, there is a sign-up sheet. I've got a 4-part course for this. It's $997, and he had 41 people sign up that night.
Wow.
He had not even made the course. He just made a bulleted outline. So he made 41 grand in a night, and then he got paid up front and went and made the course. That was, and he was like on the verge of bankrupt. And that's like the one kind of thing that got him momentum and kind of saved him.
And where did he do this?
He's like his name is Thomas Tadlock. He's a fitness, like he was like vegan best body of like 2009. He was on MTV. He was a gym owner, but he was struggling. And it's just a really incredible story. So build, you know, it's like build the ship and they will come is a bad thing. Get them there first, then build the ship. Right.
Yeah, this one, a lot of it was kind of like pre-done. So we're just kind of rearranging it and
just organizing it. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, cool. I'll kick it to you, Charlie. I want to make sure we cover everything. I know we
we will. Yeah. And I think we talked about that on Thursday, but just identifying what's the problem that you're solving, what's the process that you're solving. Problem, promise, process, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the problem that they have? What's the promise that you're taking them to? What's that vision? And then what's that process? What are the modules? What's the 5, 7, 8 steps or whatever that are going to get them from A to B?
Absolutely.
Yep. So, and we can come back and discuss that too. But anyway, people right now are going to contract. I mean, less people. Inherently people are going to stop marketing. There's going to be people that stop advertising. There's going to be more demand right now for people market. Like there's going to be more eyeballs on social. And ad costs are going to go down because less people are spending on advertising. And Chance is like, yeah, thank you.
I've been waiting for a year.
Yeah.
I'm about to sell my kidney so I can spend it on Facebook ads.
Right. I'm not going to sit here and say like, okay, go out and just spend a bunch of money on Facebook ads, but you know, it may be something to look into, but at the very least, I mean, now's the time to get yourself out there, put your message out there, help people. Like now is the time to get your message out. There's just so many people on right now.
And when emotions, right? Emotion is just energy in motion. And so emotions are high, meaning energy is high. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of chaos. Like you can feel it. Like I watched a truck driver exit, like there was 2 trucks driving today, right? An 18-wheeler like cut off a dump truck to get him to, because he didn't want to miss an exit, right? Irrational behavior that could have killed somebody over missing an exit, right?
Mhm.
That's just a picture of like how people are responding right now, right? So emotions and energy is high. So it's about capturing that energy, I think. And so, you know, this is I know Charlie and I were talking a little bit, right? It is completely normal to feel fearful. It's completely normal to feel like you're trapped. It's completely normal to feel these things. Acknowledge them, let them process, and then get back to building your business. Nothing else matters. Like, this is just like Charlie said, like, that's my favorite line of this. When others contract, we expand. Like, that's what we're here to do. And it can be scary. And I think this is a time to face some of those fears that we all have, because we all have them. It's how are we going to face them? How are we going to look them in the eye and keep going?
So
I think, oh, go ahead, Donna.
I was just going to ask, so if they're kind of backing up and they're not wanting to grow, I'm a profitability and growth advisor. I mean, you know, do we change our approach? Do we change like what we're doing, or do we just keep doing what we're doing?
Well, I mean, I think everybody's still going to want to be profitable, Donna. So I still think that's a service that you can help. Maybe that's such a versatile service that it may look a little different with what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll talk about that and these new opportunities and angles, but at the end of the day, you're maximizing profitability and making sure that people are surviving in their business. So I think
So it should still be relevant then.
yeah.
Donna, one of the things I'm going to be doing, I'm not doing many calls this week, but next week when I'm back on the phones, one of the things I'm going to be hypersensitive to what people are saying when I'm on the phone with them, right? Mm-hmm. So like, I'm reframing it. Like, when I get on a sales call, I was thinking about this earlier today. When I get on a sales call, if someone buys from me, it's a bonus. The value I'm getting out of that sales call is not a sale. It's, what are they telling me? What are they worried about? What are their fears? Like, and what are the exact words that they're using? Because if I can hear the same phrase 2 or 3 times, bam, I just got my new marketing message, right? Mm-hmm. Because if I hear it 3 times from 5 people, if I hear the same phrase, like, I just want, my biggest concern is my cash flow, or should I refinance my house right now? Or how much should my emergency fund be, right? Those concerns, that's like ammo for hand raisers and articles and videos and Facebook Live titles and all of that, right? So that's what I'm kind of using, because your product, your service, your delivery, all that stays the same. We just wrap it's like the gift is still the same, right? We're just putting different wrapping paper on it.
Okay.
Charlie, does that fit at all?
I agree completely. Yep. It's more of a messaging and positioning thing.
Well said. Messaging and positioning. It's everything.
Mm-hmm. So now is a really, really good time, guys. Now's the time to be a leader and show up for your clients. I know I've said that a couple of times. I would really recommend reaching out to, if you can, all of them. I mean, I don't know how many clients that you guys have, but I would reach out to all of them, or at least, you know, the ones that are, at least the ones that are, I guess, paying if they're not 1040s, I guess.
Right.
Basically what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And just reach out and let them know, hey, I'm here for you. Like, I'm still I'm here for you. Like, what is going on in your life right now? Like, just have a genuine conversation with them, see what's going on, see what you can do for them. And, I mean, if there is an opportunity to help them more, maybe there is. Maybe, you can have that conversation if they're open to that. But just get in there. Now's the time to prove that you're their trusted advisor.
Absolutely.
Yep. Do you have anything to add on to that one, Chance?
Yeah, I think it's, if you can, to me, So a couple of things I'm doing, I'm hypersensitive to what people are saying, what people are thinking. I'm using my interactions in everyday life to give me perspective on the masses. And so like what I mean by that is the first thing I've been like prepping for this business wise for a year. Like I've been waiting. I'm like super giddy. This is happening. Like I'm excited, right? Like my wife was like cracking up the other night because I couldn't sleep. I'm like kind of like running on empty. I think I've slept like 8 hours the last 2 nights total. Because like I'm emotionally ready for this. I'm financially ready for this. Like my business, like I've been waiting for this catastrophe, something to happen, but most people aren't, right? And so I made the wrong assumption thinking that most people are already ready, but think people have to process things in a certain order. So where I found that out is like my family, my wife has 3 sisters and they all have kids. So there's like 15 of us that we went and played family kickball on Saturday, right? Went out to the park, had some beer, just like hung out like the family. And we were sitting there and my sister, I said, they were talking about the virus and the schools are shutting down and this and that. And I don't talk I don't share much with my family because I usually get made fun of. But I just quietly said, it's going to get bad. And and my sister-in-law goes, oh no, I don't think many people will pass away from the virus. That was the last thought on earth I was thinking about. Of course people are going to of course it's not going to be the bubonic plague where it kills a third of the world population, right? Of course. But it showed me the average person's train of thought is not on the economic impact yet. And I don't, some people will maybe be there in a month. Some people it'll be 6 months, right? Before they really see the true effects of this. So for me, I knew in those moments I had to shift my messaging to kind of fit a little more in line with where she was at that day. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's something I just kind of thought was interesting.
Yep.
And so let me chime in for a minute. So you don't think that these businesses that are being so cautious right now on having to close their doors and laying off people, their employees and all of that because there is no money to be made because everybody is self-quarantining. What makes you think that they're going, and this is my poverty mentality chiming in here, what makes you think that they are going to say, hey, I'm going to pay $2,500 for a month to, sign up with you when I can't afford to pay my employees, when I don't know when, how I'm going to pay my bills next month? I mean, there it is.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody at all that would say, hey, I just laid off 20 employees today, but I'm going to sign up with you, Lisa. That's where I'm at. And yeah, it's poverty mentality, but I mean, or devil's advocate here. Maybe I'm just the devil's advocate.
No, not at all.
Maybe,
not at all.
Sir, so Lisa, what's your service and what's your pricing, or what is your pricing? 2,500? Is that?
It's in that range. Yeah, it's anywhere from 1,500 to the high end of 2,500, depending on the size of the company.
Right.
But
And what's that?
There's no way. I couldn't even sell that right now when they're telling me that they had to lay off 20 employees today. I'm not even going to approach them.
Okay. Do you think that's good? So is that? So do you just think
what's the service, Lisa?
What's a what?
What service is it that you're talking about for 1,500 to 2,500?
The CFO services.
CFO, perfect. Okay.
What is that? Yeah. Like, what is like a little more detail on that? Like, what activities are you going to do? The account, the reports, the analysis of the reports, the call with them every single, either
bi-monthly or monthly, and it is a tax planning package. It's all inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
It is the tax preparation at the end of the year. It is the tax planning. It is the, month to month, not the bookkeeping. It's not the bookkeeping at all. They do their own bookkeeping, and, I analyze, I review, I correct, I make, I tell them, where to move forward, So
Are you open to coaching on this, Lisa? Because if not, that's okay.
Am I what?
Are you open to like some coaching on this, like maybe some different perspectives, or?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, you don't sound. I don't know. There sounded like there's skepticism, and that's fine. If you don't, if you're not, if you're firm in that belief and that's your reality, then that's okay. I will. Yeah, I'm happy to help you with that. But if you're not open to it or don't feel ready for it, that's completely fine. Like, I don't want you to feel pressured like in front of people. You know what I mean? Like,
with what? What would be the coaching on? Would it be on my mentality, or would it be on the presenting the package so that I get the yes?
Yeah, my thought was that we could role play. You could be your client that just laid off 20 people, and I could be you, and then we'll just see what happens. But if that's not something you want to do, that's okay. There's just an offer. No worries.
I mean, I really want to get over this mentality, but I really don't see that there is any client out there right now that, I mean, do you know someone who laid off 20 people today that would say, hey, yeah, I can pay you $30,000 a year?
I think I want to, I could chime in here, I think, Lisa, and say, what it is that when we're talking to these people, we need to have an inherent ROI that we're providing these clients with a service like that, right? So yeah. we need for them to see the value that they're not paying us $2,500 a month, they're saving 10 times that.
I can show them that.
So you're actually doing them a financial disservice by not bringing them in because of that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense, but it still comes back down to, are they going to sign on knowing that they had to let 20 people go that, that are now struggling to support their family?
Totally.
Because there are businesses that really hits them hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would devastate me if I had an employee that I knew was supporting their family, and I had to let them go.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
And I'm watching on so many different levels of businesses where they're saying, I had to close my doors today. I had to lay off, 20 employees today. I don't know how I'm going to move forward. Where to go from here. I feel like I need to go get a job, but there's no jobs because of this, of this scare, of this quarantine.
Yeah. So it's just I mean, I understand where you're coming from, Lisa, and it's like, I think, you're going to have those conversations. I mean, you're going to have a conversation where somebody's going through a challenging time, and that's exactly why they're on the call, because they're in pain. What we're doing as consultants, as accountants, is we're solving problems for people, and sometimes they are significant problems, right?
Okay.
Yeah. But if we know in our heart of hearts that we can serve people, let's make that ask. Let's help those people. And if they say no, it's okay. But I mean, we're doing them a service by trying to help them improve their financial situation, improve their livelihood, you
Right,
know?
right.
And I know that's not a, you know, it's easier said than done, but you know, we just have to see the value that we're providing and make that offer to them, you know? Does that make sense?
Okay.
Does that, I mean,
Yeah, yeah. But so on a riskier side of that, say they do. Say they lay off 20 employees and, you know, they've had to close their doors, but they still want to, you know, say, hey, you know, I'm willing to listen to what you have to say. Show me, you know, I'll give you, you know, 3 months or 6 months or, you know, whatever the case may be.
mm-hmm.
And if they don't listen to me, because I've had clients that don't listen to me,
Mm-hmm.
come back and say, all right, this isn't working. And you know, not only going to do this, I'm not only going to, you know, terminate our services or our service relationship, but I am considering suing you, which I've never had that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, people just walk away. But I'm always looking at that. If you're not careful with how you are presenting that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with like no no risk or, you know, no guarantee.
Mm-hmm. I understand that. I would say I'm kind of curious to hear, Chance, if you have anything to add, and then even maybe even Donna, if you have something to say about it, like that you could maybe relate to on this, because you guys both offering CFO services.
Absolutely. Yeah, Donna, do you want to go first, or?
I don't. You're muted. I don't.
You were muted, but we heard "oh crap" very loud and clear.
I was like, what? I guess that was a good thing I kept it clean. See, that's why I don't like to mute, is because I forget that I've got it on there. So, you know, I hear a lot when I'm talking to people, I can't afford that, and, you know, we don't know how much money that's going to be or how much is it. One of the things that I say to them is that, you know, my philosophy is that they should make, you know, well beyond what they're going to pay me to work with them. So their return on investment should significantly surpass anything that they would pay me. But that does look, you know, a little bit different depending upon what the needs are, you know, because it's not always about money. Sometimes it's about peace of mind. Sometimes it's about family time and what you're giving back to them by taking that problem away. You could be, you know, greatly reducing stress. So one of the things also that I would say to someone, say I got to the end of a call and I put that offer out there and say, well, it's going to be $3,000 a month, you know, and they're like quiet and they're like, wow, that's, you know, that's a lot of money. I said, yeah, you know, it is a lot of money. I said, but it is an investment. You know, I don't ever call it a fee. I call it an investment.
Okay.
And I just let them know, but because in my case, I'm like, it's also going to be an investment in your time. So I kind of try to steer them away from that. But if they still are kind of on the fence, and I ask them, you know, well, tell me what's going through your mind right now. What is holding you back? Because the fear is always going to hold them back. And so if they, you know, will open up and share that, then we can talk about that. But one of the things that I kind of like, and I can't remember where I heard it, but it was something to the effect of, hang on, I'll get it so I get it right. Because it's kind of a neat deal. Let me see here. It's something to do with, they tell you, you know, well, I can't afford that. And you say, you know what, you can't afford it. And I'm going to show you how you can afford it. This is part of, you know, what we're going to be working on together. I haven't had a chance to try that on anybody yet, but okay. I've been told that it's pretty effective. And if you can, let's say, I don't know about you, but in my process, I asked for 3 years of financials. And if you can go into your meeting with 3 years of financials up front, you can go back to your meeting with them with true numbers that are specific to them. And you can show them exactly how much money you can save them. This is my cost. This is what you're going to save. That nets you such and such dollars. It's going to be 30,000 for me. I'm saving you 90,000 just by making this change. You know, so that's net 60,000. You wouldn't have any of it if you don't work with me. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't know about it. So you kind of, I guess, flip it around and show them you can afford it, and this is how you're going to afford it. I had a client. They weren't a client. They were a prospective client. And I had a conversation with them, and they were in a really bad spot. They were trying to figure out how they were going to get payroll, and they were pretty stressed out. And I even tried to call them back and give them a few pointers that I saw immediately during our conversation of how I could help them, and they wouldn't even talk to me. During my conversation with them, I saw immediately where I could save them $100,000, and that was exactly what they were in the hole the year before. But they didn't want to talk to me. So.
All right. So when you give that information to the prospective client,
high level,
saying
high level.
Yeah, you don't give them away.
You don't want to give it away.
You don't give away details. You know, you're giving them a high level.
Didn't you just say you show them show them on their financial reports where they're spending, you know, $90,000 that you can save them, and
you're not telling them how you can save it. You're not going to give them all the specifics. They're still not going to know how to do it. They're going to need.
Okay, so you're generally saying, I'm looking at your report and I can tell you that I can save you $90,000 a year. Just generally, overall, you're not pinpointing anything with your.
Okay, so for instance, let's say
I don't want to get I don't want to get too into the weeds, guys. I'm gonna cut it off at this point, and we could maybe circle back on this after on the next call. But I just that's a whole different animal.
That's a whole other 2-hour call.
Yeah, but
I get that. I get that you're not supposed to give the information away.
Yeah.
You know, I understand that.
Yep. I mean, I would say, just quickly, Lisa, I would say, you know, just looking at your financials, because I would recommend getting it on a discovery call, doing a quick call on the front end, getting those financials and just saying, you know, just from glancing at your financials, I already see opportunities for 6 figures in savings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you know, just by looking at that, I'm confident that we can do that if we implement what I see here. So I'm going to move on from that, but yeah.
I think
that's definitely
this is a good time
clarity. Thank you.
This is a good time to talk about just like exploring new opportunities and angles, because that's what we're really getting to, right?
Right.
It's how do we leverage the environment to help our business? Because you can absolutely have this firm belief that people you know, or need to, you know, whatever the belief is, right? And Lisa, I want to seriously congratulate you on recognizing the fact that you have awareness that that's your poverty mentality. Like, it's kind of funny, but you can recognize that, Lisa. That's incredible. So I want to commend you for that. And I think, you know, Charlie, you've got some good stuff there about tax prep is still needed. You know, they still need help. Maybe it looks different than it did a month ago or 6 months ago, but people still need help. And so, Charlie, what are your thoughts on as far as exploring new angles? What are some of your thoughts there?
I mean, I got a question from somebody today. Do people really still need bookkeeping? I'm like, well, yeah, they are still going to need bookkeeping, guys. I mean, we may have some funny timing shifts this year with tax prep deadlines moving and stuff, and maybe things aren't quite as urgent and things will be moving a little bit, but everyone still needs to do their tax return this year. Everyone still needs bookkeeping to do those tax returns. People need cleanups to get the tax returns done. People need cleanups and bookkeeping to get financing if they're running out of cash. which is a big one. So there's a lot of things coming out the pipe here with like small business loans and financing opportunities, and the government giving, with tax credits, I think, Chance, you were talking about, right?
Yeah, I've got a whole video on that.
And we're just, we're like a couple days into this, so we're just scratching the surface of all the complexity.
It's gonna get great, dude.
Yeah.
It's going to get great if we position ourselves and our clients in a good place. This can be the biggest economic break for most people that they've ever had. Like, this is not a catastrophe. This is a energetic shift. It's not good, bad. It's not right or wrong. It's not, and we put these labels, this dualistic language on it, but it is what it is, right? And it's our choice whether we're going to become the victim or become the victor. That's what I Googled this morning. Well, no, I'm just kidding. So who knows? Maybe, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's more funding opportunities out there for these small businesses that are coming out, and more details are coming out on that. Businesses are going to need more. They're going to need a guide. They need a trusted advisor and somebody to guide them through this. And that's what you guys want to position yourselves as for your current clients and in the market for potential prospective clients. There's just going to be so many opportunities out of this. Shoot, I was just going to talk about there's the funding opportunities, and then there's going to probably be industry cutouts and carve outs and payroll stuff that's coming out. So
hey, yeah. Hey Charlie, I was going to show. I want to show everyone on here tonight.
Yeah, sure. Let me stop sharing.
I'll share screen.
Yep.
All right. So, so if y'all want, y'all are welcome to go listen. So this is. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is basically. I posted this in my private Facebook group last night. So basically, this is me for 27 minutes going over this stuff for my clients. So I only sent this to clients. So basically, it's like, hey, here's the update. I just had an article that I kind of shared with them, and basically just and then so went through that with them and kind of talked through that. So and then I gave them my thoughts on this, right? Where, hey guys, don't be afraid right now. This is we're looking at some of the best ways to grow your business. Just give me a couple months to help you figure it out, right? Mm-hmm. I'm already, I had one of my customers call me today, like, hey, can you get that video to me? I was like, I was waiting on it, right? Now, so because they desperately need someone to lead them. And so you're welcome to go listen to that video. You can literally copy it word for word, send it to your clients. Mm-hmm. That article is really good. I think articles, it's like a third party unbiasedness. I could have written something about it, but it's more powerful coming from like a Forbes. It's got credibility. Mm. So I go over that article and how that affects them, how that affects their business, and the opportunities that I'm seeing. And I'm just giving them almost like a state of the union, state of the economy, state of your business address, right? And I've noticed that that's really already so I've gotten a lot of positive feedback on that. So I'm releasing that to my clients first is what I've done. And then what I also did is I put a hand raiser and hey, I just did this for my inner circle clients, right? So I'm qualifying myself, this is exclusive, drop a gift below if you want access, right? Mm-hmm. So now it's also a lead gen source for me because now I have the hand raise, right? So I think these types of things are critical. It's energy is moving faster than it normally does. So the challenge is not, the challenge is how and when to capture that energy, because making money is just capturing energy and having it flow through you, right? Because people are gonna pay you and you're gonna pay things out. So it just the energy flows through you. I think that's the thing, is that it's how do we expand our ability to receive that energy in this time?
Mm-hmm. And that goes back to what you just mentioned, Chance, goes back to showing up as a leader for your clients.
That's it.
And for your and prospective clients, like showing up as a leader on social is really huge right now, because if you show up now for them in this chaos and this craziest of times, they're going to be that's going to have a huge amount of goodwill and value long term.
They're going to remember it forever.
Yep.
The nurses and the doctors that saved like my wife and my son's life, we saw one of the nurses like 3 years after my son was born, and we remembered her name and gave her like the biggest hug in the world. Like my wife was like crying, right? Because she saved my son's life. And the hours we needed someone the most, she was there for us. Yes, the medical bills were $230,000. I don't even care. I didn't even care, because my son's a lot like I get to hang out with my son, you know? So it goes beyond money. It's for some people right now, it's life and death. I mean, and it's going to get worse. And so this is the time to just step up, and people are craving that. And if you can be that person for them, your business will grow, and your ability to impact people in a positive way will grow.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let me share that back over, Chance.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yep.
I look like I'm in deep thought though.
Yeah, man. Okay. And I think we covered most of it. So explore new opportunities, explore new angles. Just keep your thumb on the news with the different things, and remember, as we get into taxes, state rules are going to be different than Fed rules unless all the states decide to piggyback and all that stuff. So just keep an eye on all that. But the last thing I want to say is now's the best time to invest in yourself, invest in your community, invest in yourself and community. So spend time on improving your skills as a business owner, invest in your skills, and invest in networking with like-minded individuals and business owners and community. So people that are going through this, or people that are other like-minded business owners.
Absolutely.
So that's why like this group is talk to people in here, and see how they're doing, see what they're dealing with. So it's just like normal, celebrate wins, and yeah, celebrate wins and talk about challenges. So I think that's I covered pretty much everything on here. I'll open it up to anybody, any questions that you guys have based on everything that we talked about, or just open season. Or we could hang out in silence.
Remind me, under number 3, what is that objection is going to be minimized?
Yeah, so I've had just talking to clients, people have said, oh, people want an accountant local, or they want somebody in the office. Well, that's going to go away for a while. Like, I don't think as many people are going to want somebody necessarily in the office, or want somebody like they're more open than ever to an idea of a remote accountant or virtual accountant.
And we're not competing with them going to Disney World.
Instead?
Huh?
Instead of working?
Because it's like, okay, I can spend $3,800 with this tax guy, or I could get those new golf clubs. What are they freaking doing? They're freaking gonna get golf clubs.
Right.
Now they're like, shit. Oof, better get some help, right? Worried about my cash. Worried. So
On vacation, I might as well work on my company.
Do what?
I can't go on vacation. I might as well work on my company.
This could be a good time. It's like anything else. So you know how money, I used to teach Dave Ramsey courses at my church, right? And one of his like doctrines is he talks about how money just magnifies. So if you're a really good person when you're poor, you're going to be a super incredible person when you're rich. But if you're a shitty person when you're poor, you're going to be a really shitty person when you're rich, right? It just magnifies what's already there. Okay. And and money is just energy. What we're seeing right now is energy. So I think right now we're going to see the same way. This uncertainty is just going to magnify what people already have. So the really scared people the people that live in fear are going to get extremely fearful and pull back, and you'll never get them as a client. The people that are like, okay, like I can see some upside to this. I can see I can position myself like confident, they're ready to grow. They're going to become extremely confident, and used to, you would tell them $3,000 a month. They'd be like, now you can tell them $5,000 a month. And they're like, do I get a discount if I do 6 months paid in full up front? Right? Like that's the change. So it's just going to magnify. Maybe.
What'd you say? Maybe.
I would say, I want to say this carefully, but come from a place of understanding of your prospects. And if they need some flexibility, I mean, you could have some flexibility there with, Chance, are you in agreement with me, man? Like
1,000%. We gotta listen to them.
I'm not saying to sell your services for like, next to nothing, but if you can have a little bit of flexible payment terms, if it's going to help them, and at the end of the day, maybe they need, maybe they are more open to terms on like paying weekly versus monthly.
Right.
Or, explore that with them.
It's a time to be creative, right? The joy of having your own business is you make the call. So like my house right now, I've got my rental property. It's been on the market for 90 days. We have had one application. They're going to buy a house because the federal interest rates are so low. So I don't have any progress on my house right now for rent. $2,600 a month is what I normally get for that unit, right? So that's a decent part of my income. So I'm like kind of like, I haven't had that in like 90 days. I'm like kind of running low on like that side of things, right? So you know what I'm thinking about doing? I'm thinking of, okay, what do I need? I need help in my business right now. I need someone that can fix stuff. I need someone, right? I need someone with these skill sets. I'm literally was like brainstorming today. How can I rent my house out to somebody that I'm going to trade them? They can't pay me, but I'm going to trade. They're going to live in my house, and instead of paying me $2,600, they're going to pay me $1,000, and then they're going to work for me full time. Right? Like that's crazy. That's stupid. Like I'm not going to do that. But the point is to find the creative ways to make things happen, because money's not value. Value's value, right? Value comes in a million different forms. So this is a time to be creative, right? If you need marketing help, Donna, and you get on with a CFO client that's a marketer that can't afford $5,000 a month for you, maybe it's $1,000 a month, and they run and they're a master at Facebook ads, and they're so excited because Facebook ads are about to go on sale, and they run your ads for you. Right? Those creative ways to do that, I think that's what people are looking for. Maybe.
Yeah, we might be seeing that bartering, back and forth thing a lot.
It's going to go back to that. Study the 1800s. That's how people are going to start living. That's the mentality. I take it back. They're not going to start. That's going to be our mentality, right? How do I trade you chickens for milk? Maybe.
Yeah, I want to pull back a little bit for that, but I would say just don't be afraid of a little flexibility. Like if you need to, like I think we could still put our offers out there. We could still get cash.
Yeah, absolutely.
We could still close deals. But if somebody needs a little bit of flexibility, like let's accommodate them if possible. That's fine.
I'm the weird guy that lives like on Pluto, Charlie. That's why I hang out with Charlie, because he keeps me. Because if I told him that, he'd be like, "Chance, that's stupid. Get paid. Don't let them live in your house so they can cut your yard. You should just do your yard, Chance."
Yeah.
No, well said, Charlie.
Cool. All right. Well, it's 6 after. Is any other questions that you have for us, Donna?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. We're here for you. Like, just reach out if there's anything, you have any questions about anything with the course or anything, okay?
All right.
Okay. Sounds good, guys.
You guys
I'm glad that we got to talk to you this. Okay, talk to y'all soon.
Have a good week. See y'all.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.